At a time when geopolitical tensions are reshaping the global order, from the war in Ukraine to crisis in the Middle East, diplomacy and dialogue have never been more urgent. On the sidelines of the Astana International Forum, my colleague Balzhan Samigulina sat down in our mobile studio with Christoph Heusgem, ex-chairman of the Munich Security Conference and former chief foreign policy advisor to German Chancellor Angela Merkel. In the conversation, Heusgem reflected on the purpose of global forums like Astana and Munich, the alarming rise in defense spending, and why restoring respect for international law must remain central to resolving today's conflicts. So, what does Christoph Heusgem really think about the world's response to Gaza and Ukraine? And how does he see the Global South shaping the next phase of global security? To find out, watch fragment of interview right now.
So, Mr. Heusgem, thank you very much for joining us and welcome to Kazakhstan. Now we are at the Astana International Forum. How would you highlight the significance of this kind of events in this global security agenda amid these global tensions, please?
Well, we do with the Munich Security Conference something similar as you do here with the Astana International Forum,
right.
Bringing people together, seeing to it that the many conflicts that we have are being resolved. The problem is, and we have to be honest about this, that these last years we have not really seen a decrease in conflicts. We actually have the largest number of displaced persons. We have a number of conflicts. We have the conflicts going on in the Middle East, in Ukraine, Russia. Right. We have today the president of Rwanda here and their conflict with their neighbor DRC. And there are so many conflicts on the world, so there's even more need to talk. But the talk alone is not enough. We have to really find solutions, find compromise so that we can make progress.
And now we see all around the world the trend of increasing the budget for the defense, and also Europe is increasing it. How would you describe this, and what threats do you think it can impose that countries are increasing nowadays?
Well, we see, as I said earlier, these conflicts are continuing, they're increasing. You have to see what is the basis, and on what basis can you find solutions. And I'm very old-fashioned, and I was very happy to hear that the Kazakh president today in his speech also is very old-fashioned. He pointed to the UN Charter. Yeah. He pointed to what we have created after the Second World War.
What are your assumptions on how these situations and conflicts in the Middle East and Ukraine can evolve right now?
Well, again, also on the Middle East, on the Russia-Ukraine conflict, please respect international law. What we see right now happening in Gaza is a violation of international humanitarian law, and this has to stop. This is the only way forward. We have to insist on the rule of law and make those who violate it, convince them that is the only way out. So, and sometimes we have to increase the pressure on these guys.
Let's imagine if you would be a chairman of Munich conference again for 2026. Yeah. What will be your top agenda questions that you're going to discuss?
Well, it's a hypothetical question. I'm no longer the chairman. Yeah, I watch that in interest. I had a policy, and which I think needs to be continued, a policy of reaching out to the global south, because the big questions we have. Listen to Ban Ki-moon speaking about, the climate change. We need global challenges. Number two, I had on all of my podium, I had gender balance. I had 50% women, and you listen to what the president of North Macedonia said today. This is very important. And then I also try to lower the age average. You have younger people participating. That was very important.
Yeah, now we can see that transatlantic relations are actually changing under the presidency of Donald Trump. How do you think the policy of current American administration can change this, whole game in the politics?
Yes, we see this. We see this erratic policy. We see the disrespect for international law. I mean, when the American president says, well, he wants to take Canada, Panama Canal, Greenland, and if they don't like, we take it by force. This is a violation of Article 2 of the Charter of the United Nations, and we have to insist on it, and we have to resist it. And try also a country like the United States, try to convince them that even for a big country like that, as for everyone, to respect international law in the end is the best. On trade, I mean, we see how tariffs are everything. And, I'm an economist. I learned early on, the best for everybody is when you have free trade.
Right.
And by increasing tariffs, by increasing all the possibilities for free trade, you punish, of course, those who export to your country, but you punish your all consumers.
Right.
Or see what is now being done on the, freedom of expression, what is done also on with regard to the universities.
Right.
I mean, this is what benefits the world. I studied in England, in the US, and studied in France. I got my degree in Switzerland. I benefited from this. And I think for everybody, this is what European Union was built on, the Erasmus program, allowing everybody. And I hope Kazakhstan, Central Asian countries will come closer, benefit from that. This opens your minds. This gives you new opportunities. Everybody strives from this, and to narrow this now, to close doors, this is not good even for a country like the United States.
Well, let's hope that there will be peace in the coming years. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be in Astana.